Hello. My name is Dora. Welcome to the Candlelight Vigil and Concert for Democracy, marking the 35th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square Massacre and the 5th anniversary of the 2019 protest movement in Hong Kong.
My name is Jiaqi Jiang.
我係李蘭谷，多謝大家今晚嚟到，係喺香港咁樣嘅環境底下，你哋仍都出席，多謝各位。
I'd like to begin this evening's event with land acknowledgement. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the land we are on. For thousands of years, this has been the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. This territory is subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. I'd now like to call upon Lynn Davidson to the stage, please. Please now rise for our national anthem.
請各位起立，我哋大家一齊唱加拿大國歌。
請各位站起来，我们会一起唱加拿大国歌。
Thank you very much. Lynn Davidson is a Toronto-based jazz singer with Hakka heritage and is involved in numerous cultural events. She's been performing all around the city since the age of 7. The next is a special presentation from Tiananmen to Hong Kong. I was there, we were there.
以下落嚟係一個特別嘅項目，當中國無聲，維園觸滅，但係我哋仍然有存留真相嘅證人。
My father was there.
我们在天安门广场进行绝食斗争，绝食要求如下：要求政府迅速与北京高校对话代表团对话，迅速为这次学生运动证明，肯定这是一场 爱国民主的学生运动。
Beijing remains a city under siege this morning and still in shock. All-night tank convoys roamed the city's main avenue and opened fire with machine guns at even a hint of opposition. All highways leading into the city are now occupied and blocked by the army. Most residents and foreigners obeyed orders to stay off the streets or else.
There is still scattered resistance to martial law a full 24 hours after the army brutally crushed student-led demonstrations for freedom and democracy.
I was there.
I was there.
I was there.
My father was there.
撤回修訂引渡條例！撤回修訂引渡條例！
This isn't just a demonstration of young people and students, kids who are on their summer vacation. It's everybody.
More than 1 million people out in the streets.
The largest protests since the handover from Britain in 1997.
7日回歸日，衝突升級。
除低口罩係因為想俾大家知道，其實我哋香港人真係冇得再輸㗎啦！我哋要贏就一齊繼續贏落去。
721從此成為全香港都記得嘅日子。大批白衫人聚集元朗西鐵站，軍裝警一度到場，轉身走咗。白衣人無差別打人。去到8月最後一日，又係另一個轉捩點。
一落嚟就係打。
橫跨吐露港公路嘅中大2號橋係示威者同警察爭奪嘅據點。
警方再放催淚彈，部分射中記者。
另一個戰場係理大，喺正香港過海大動脈旁邊。警方出動水炮車、裝甲車。
Police are warning that they will use live rounds.
Every route they try, the police are there to block their escape. What was a mass breakout turns into a mass break back in again.
你問我點解出嚟抗爭？你大好前途，莫非係想斷送前途？
我哋會選擇想爭取嘅會係自由同民主咯。
我希望見到一個屬於香港人嘅香港。
I was there. I was there. I was there.
I was there.
I was there. rise and we're going to have a moment of silence。請大家仍然站立，我哋會有默哀嘅時間。請大家還在是站立，我們有默哀嘅時間。
Please be seated. Thank you very much for such a moving rendition of Lennon Collins' Hallelujah. The trumpet player is Jun Oh, undergraduate student in computer science at the University of Toronto. Shanice Bernard is a graduate student in engineering at U of T. They both play with the Hard House Symphonic Band, North Toronto Community Band, and the Columbus Concert Band.
下一個環節就係我哋今次咧就係有3個團體咧係合辦呢一次嘅燭光集會嘅。 咁咧就係多倫多支持中國民運會、民主中國陣線，同埋係新成立喺白紙運動之後，由一班中國大陸嘅年青人係成立嘅公民會。咁我哋而家想請佢哋係上嚟嘅嚇。
Something first. In any ordinary nations, medals were issued to soldiers whose acting brave and distinguishable on against enemies. But in China, the enemy, it appears to be its people itself. This medal here is from 35 years ago, issued to those soldiers who killed students on the square by the Communist Party. It said a commemorative of putting down the riot. This medal was issued to those soldiers not for their bravery, but for their being a coward, not for fighting the enemies, but for slaughter their own people. To our generation, the young Chinese, we are not really surprised by the brutality the Communist Party conducted killing students on the square. Because from what things they already done to Tibetans, to Uyghurs, to Hong Kongers, and many of us has already suffered from those wacko policy during the pandemic. That's why we have white paper revolution. But to us, what really surprised us is the moment of June the 4th, the humanity that showed during this event. This really entrenched my belief of this land still have a hope. These people deserve a different possibility and a future. More importantly, we realized that our nation once, through everyone's effort, almost break free from the shadow of the dictatorship that we suffered for thousands of years. I really appreciate your attendance here, but that's not enough. Just like Taiwanese people always say, 自己的国家自己救. We need to save our nation by ourselves. Why? Why is that? Because to Tiananmen Square, that's my duty. Let's never forgive, never forget, and never give up. Thank you.
大家好，我叫蒋家骥，我是民主中国阵线加拿大分部的成员。首先，感谢大家今晚在此和我们一起悼念35年前1989年6月3日晚被中国共产党屠杀于天安门广场、北京市长安街5棵松十字路口木樨地和在6月4日大陆其他300多城市中所有被屠杀镇压的声援天安门广场学生的各地市民与学生们，谢谢。我知道每年临近六四时都有关于六四是一场失败的运动，当时的学生非常不成熟，六四都是以前发生于上一代的人的事了，跟我们有什么关系等观点流传。可是其实89年的学运并没有所谓的失败与成功，就如2019年反送中时站出来的香港学生与市民一样，面对学生，面对强权，学生没有沉默，面对暴政时，民众更没有屈服。学生与民众一起坚守他们的信仰，用他们的赤诚与血肉，在机枪、在坦克前告诉世人：不自由，勿宁死。It's our 丢弃。所以，中国共产党可以在中国大陆全网全社会的屏蔽，甚至扭曲六四的真相，可以在2020年开始强行取缔维园六四烛光晚会。可今晚聚集在这里，大家却证明，共产党永远无法熄灭六四的学生与市民在我们心中点亮的那支名为自由的烛光。谢谢。没有暴民，只有暴政。
大家好，我係代表多倫多支援中國民運會嘅。我今日好驚，我驚唔係驚見唔到你哋，因為我本身就見唔到你哋。我驚聽唔到你哋喺度在場啊！可唔可以拍下手俾我知道，大聲啲支持下你哋，自己支持下我，多謝你哋。35年前嘅時候，我好細個。我老師話俾我知道喺電視機裏邊見到坦克進入天安門，當時我唔知發生咩事，但係好傷心，燃起咗我對民主自由嘅渴望。會考之後第一件事，我就係加入民主黨。當時華叔同我講嗰句説話，佢話雖然你見唔到，但係我哋仍然可以一齊爭取中國嘅光明。我希望大家都唔會忘記35年前發生嘅事情，更不會忘記5年前浩浩蕩蕩喺香港發生嘅呢一個反送中時代革命。我哋犧牲咗好多人，我哋犧牲咗好多時間，但係好多人今日47人案45人坐監，2個仲要被追殺。但係我哋係明白到暴政係始終有一日會滅亡嘅。我知道今日而家個天應該仲係光嘅，但係喺最黑夜嘅時候、最黑暗嘅時候，黎明嚟之前係最黑暗。可能我哋每一個人有唔同嘅策略，但係呢啲嘅策略唔會阻擾我哋去爭取民主。最後，我想同大家講，雖然我冇辦法再次用眼睛見到黎明，但係我渴望大家可以話俾我知道，你哋見到黎明嚟到啦，香港已經光復啦。多謝你哋。
It's our great honor to welcome Member of Parliament Jenny Kwan to Toronto. Jenny Kwan has been Member of Parliament for Vancouver East Riding since 2015. She is the NDP critic for immigration, refugee and citizenship. We thank her deeply for her leadership in moving the bill on foreign interference forward. Because of her outspokenness, she holds the dubious honor of being an evergreen target of the Chinese government. Please join me in welcoming Member of Parliament Jenny Kwan。
好高興我哋今日咧有係聯邦嘅議員關慧貞出席我哋嘅集會。關議員咧係喺呢一個外國代理人法案裏邊咧係出咗好多力嘅。今日咧佢亦都係專程由渥太華嚟到呢度，我哋好歡迎佢。
多謝大家，大家好 ，Thank you very much。我係關慧貞，就係溫哥華東區嘅國會議員。咁樣今日咧就其實咧就一個好重嘅心嚟同大家聚埋一齊嘅。點解我咁樣話咧？因為咧35年前大家都知道咧喺中國發生咩事，而有好多年青人咧犧牲咗。而點樣犧牲法咧？就係因為佢想一個好啲嘅未來，有好啲嘅機會嚟有一個好嘅發展。而35年前後，而家見到香港到現在嘅事情發生， 真係令到大家非常之傷心，令到我非常之傷心。見到其實好似歷史再重複咁樣，而今日啱啱最近嘅新聞報咗出嚟，喺香港咧已經有6個朋友咧俾人拉咗，就係嗰個 Article 23通過咗之後嘅。而之前咧亦都知道咧有好多香港人咧為大家爭取，為香港爭取，而喺嗰段時間咧亦都咧係犧牲咗嘅，包括在內其實媒介嘅朋友咧 ，Apple News 嗰度咧，亦都咧Jimmy Lai 咧係俾人拉咗去坐監嘅。咁樣喺呢個情形之下，喺香港、喺中國、喺其他地方，好多時咧佢哋咧就唔可以發表聲音。我哋而家喺加拿大有呢個機會，係可以聚埋一齊就發表聲音。我哋要好大聲咁樣表示到出嚟，俾到香港同埋中國知道咧，我哋係會支持香港，我哋係會永遠唔會忘記6·4，我哋會永遠聚埋一齊，同手合力咁樣指出我哋要上進，要支持香港加油。而啲家庭失去咗佢哋啲愛人，今日6·4咧，佢哋都唔可以點個蠟燭，我哋一定要揸住呢支蠟燭，指住出嚟，表示到我哋永遠唔會忘記6·4嘅。咁樣而家喺加拿大，大家都知道咧，喺呢個 foreign interference 嗰個問題咧，亦都咧喺加拿大其他嘅國家，包括中國在內咧，你係想干涉我哋民主嘅發展。喺2019同埋2021嘅大選咧，已經係表示咗咧係有呢個 foreign interference 嘅activity 㗎啦。咁樣而家做緊呢個 inquiry 咧，我哋一定要再繼續嚟揭發其他國家嚟點樣嚟干涉我哋加拿大嘅民主嘅發展。同時咧，我哋喺國會度一定要通過呢個 C70嘅，而呢個法案咧一定要通過喺下一年嘅大選之前。最後，我亦都想同香港嘅朋友講一句，加拿大嘅救生艇咧係一定要再繼續發展，一定要再繼續盡快令到大家係有咗呢個 PR 嘅，等到大家知道嚟到加拿大係會係安全，亦都等大家知道咧，我哋喺加拿大咧會永遠繼續嚟同全世界爭取呢一個民主嘅地位。多謝大家。
I'd like to welcome the Honourable Senator Hassan Youssef. Senator Youssef is Senator for Ontario. As the past President of the Canadian Labour Congress, Senator Youssef has some special friendship with Lee Chuk-yen and Carol Ng, leaders of the Hong Kong Federation of Trade Unions who are currently imprisoned. Please join me in welcoming Senator Youssef.
以下落嚟呢，呢一位Hassan Youssef 咧係一個好，我哋係同我哋香港嘅2位嘅議員係非常之有淵源嘅。好高興佢今日嚟到，就係咧佢因為佢係加拿大嘅勞工大會嘅主席，同香港嘅職工盟李卓人同埋現任嘅職工盟主席吳敏儀係交情甚篤嘅。咁佢今日嘅發言係對呢2位在囚嘅朋友係特別有意義。
Friends, I'm honored to join you here, of course, this evening. I cannot believe it's been 35 years ago. I'm here to remember and honor the victims of Tiananmen Square. As an activist who was involved in the solidarity work and the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, I'm deeply committed to saying an injury to one is an injury to all. 35 years ago, when the students and workers and ordinary citizen in Beijing demonstrated to Tiananmen Square, They were standing up for democracy, for human rights, and an end to corruption. The workers were marching for an independent labor movement. So when the actions were met with an army and tanks and bullets, we in the international community all watch in disbelief. Those students and workers, they died fighting for universal values of rights and freedom. They died for all of us. We mourn, but we will continue to organize to keep our hopes. As for the 2019 pro-democracy movement in Hong Kong, it pains me to know my good friend, Brother Lee Chuk Kam, the General Secretary of the HKCTU, is in jail as I speak to you today. Both Lee and Caroline, President of the HKCTU, are tireless and passionate labor activists and human rights activists. To speak out for human rights and democracy is not a crime. As an independent senator, I want to continue to stand in solidarity with all of you for your hopes and dreams. We cannot afford a race to the bottom on human rights and democracy and freedom. I will continue to be vigilant in safeguarding our own Canadian democracy, keeping our hopes, and organizing efforts for our friends. One day, there will be freedom. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Mr. Yosef. So next, we will have poetry reading by Mr. Liu Yan. 下面我们将有民主中国阵线加拿大成员刘燕读诗《世纪六四》郑源。
世纪六四，作者郑源。血肉凝成的六四，耸立在笔直的长安街上，从天安门广场到木樨地，牢牢地记下了人民的呐喊、专制的残暴和邓氏王朝的荣耀。这不是偶然，天真的学生们曾打出过你好的横匾，善良的人们至今还在膜拜总设计师的桂冠。但投入囚牢的先哲早已揭示，没有民主，4个现代化不过是专制者的延续、独裁者的谎言和封建家族对资产瓜分的贪婪，用不着审判。血腥的70年暴政早已把共产党刻在中国历史的耻辱篇。未来的民主中国将会把明断是非的天平交给法律，把自由的空气还给新闻，把美与丑、善与恶赋予文艺，把人民本应享有的一切权利全部归属于人民，绝不能推辞。民主主义者愿作为火炬，燃烧自己，照亮前程。无情的年轮把每个人时刻的如此鲜明。真正的勇士会在浴火中而生。不要在意阵营中的背叛和对前驱者的重伤。过去和现在铁柱般的事实证明，战士依然是战士，伤口只会使他更坚强。血肉凝成的2个大字，64。高悬在湛蓝的天际，如同璀璨的群星日月，映照着民族之魂的不朽业绩。安息吧，人类文明史上的自由民主大旗，已写上了每一个倒下去的烈士的光辉名字。
Next, we will have Mr. Fu Zhi to read Even the Moon Would Weep.
fleeing far from the pain of the wound, would wash me forever, would wash away the stains of mourning. Open scars of memory, unwilling to heal, twisting always into using the string of memory, impurity and honesty, plaiting many markers of pure white to decorate the garden paths. Thus, once again, there are party decorations behind me, suddenly opening a blood-stained balcony. The murderer politely invites the people to enter. All the memories, again, rush in at once. All the wounds repainted with fresh, bright colors. All the screams rehearsed again behind the scenery. All the deaths once more reenacted in the living life. In ghastly flickering light, the scenery swells crazily around. Yet in the flashing of an eye, the stage is utterly unchanged. After the rush of the crowd, the plot keeps the same old text. Only pain is always embodied anew, sharp scalpels slicing all my supple softness. Timidly testing its wing, a laugh catches in the downpour of my throat. It doesn't need to come out, it has nowhere to go. In the mist, the white jasmine dies and blooms again. Every attempt to set out repeatedly releases the gathered drops of laughter. Broken-hearted, the wild geese never return. We can only hope for another earth-shaking collapse. Chang'e and Yuhua lie buried without hope. A few young dragonflies boldly breaks open the Milky Way. In the sky, colors of hope appear. Pain and memory begin again to spread through the universal weeping. In the cool breeze, every branch spreads out its arms. Sealed tombstones rise to holding their heads in lament, weeping onto the cold shoulders. Behind them, white roses carefully open. The wind in June once again sweep over our faces. Finally, all the stars tenderly lean over, the moon boldly marches out. There's a thrill of tears, blinking eyes across the earth, await the sun's honest rising, when all the wounds will never reopen.
I'd like now to read an excerpt from Global Affairs Statement on the verdict of Hong Kong 47 trial. Canada reiterates its recommendation to China at the United Nations Universal Periodic Review of its human rights record to replace the national security law and for Hong Kong authorities to end the prosecution of all individuals charged under it. You'll see today that many individuals are wearing masks, particularly those who are helping us out here. That's to hide their identity. Because in Hong Kong, if their identities were to be made known, that they were here at this memorial, if they were to return to Hong Kong, or when they return to Hong Kong, they could be charged. I'd now also like to read an excerpt from a letter of support we received from the Honorable Pierre Poilievre, Leader of the Official Opposition. Conservatives stand with you in these efforts. In the days ahead, we will continue fighting to advance democracy and freedom worldwide, including in China. Here at home, we will work to make Canada one of the freest countries on earth, where Hong Konger and Chinese Canadians can work and raise their families in peace and security.